The Mini 4K was released in April 2024, but only a couple of weeks ago it was added to DJI store, making it the official beginner's model of the DJI prosumer line. I've recently done an overall review of this drone. In this video I will analyze more in depth the quality of footage in different light conditions and the functionalities for video. The Mini 4K is considered a rebranded and more affordable version of the Mini 2, released at the end of 2020. The sensor specs are the same, with a size of 1/2.3 inches, very small for today's standards, an aperture of f2.8, a resolution of 4K at 30 frames per second, and a bitrate of 100 megapixels. I have done some tests to check if there is some difference in image quality, possibly due to improvement in the processor or in the algorithm. My impression is that the footage produced by the two models is identical. But this is not a bad thing, as we will see later. The body of the aircraft is practically the same in the two models. The only differences are an LED in front above the camera for the Mini 2 and the seat 0 marking in the Mini 4K. Check the update prices of the different configuration in the description of this video. It is an affiliate link, so I get a small commission in case of purchase. When it was released, the Mini 2 showed an excellent performance in easy light conditions. The detail is surprisingly good thanks to the new image processor, a noticeable improvement compared to previous more expensive models. A traditional weak point of drones was the rendition of fine details in vegetation and architectural features. The Mini 4K holds its ground very well in this department. Even in cloudy and foggy conditions, the results are remarkable. When keeping the ISO at values below 400, the footage is practically noise-free, an astonishing performance considering the small sensor. The more expensive Mini 3 Pro and 4 Pro have different color profiles, including some flat 10-bit ones, for better performance in high dynamic range situations. They give more flexibility to professional users when integrating footage into the color scheme of a specific project. The Mini 4K has only one profile, the 8-bit normal, meant to be used right out of the camera, even without any editing. However, an extra touch of contrast and saturation is beneficial, and some small adjustment of the white balance are at times needed. The colors are nice, although not as rich as in the Mini 4 Pro. In favorable light conditions, the Mini 4K produces good quality footage, suitable for video to show to friends or to post on social media. Most beginners use the footage without any editing, but the Mini 4K, with a high bitrate of 100 Mbps, responds remarkably well to post-processing without artifacts or color shift. When turning the camera towards the ground for bird's-eye footage, the sky is taken out of the equation, and we can concentrate on detail and color rendition. In these situations, the Mini 4K performs very well. The detailing in fine tree branches and in architectural features is outstanding. It can almost compete with the mighty Mini 4 Pro. Color rendition is also enjoyable. The Mini 4K's design is based on the original Mavic Mini, more than 5 years old. This is a geological era in terms of drone technology. Maintaining the weight below the important threshold of 250 grams was demanding, so every gram had to be shaved off. For this reason, this model lacks most of the functionalities present in the more recent lightweight DJI models. There is no obstacle avoidance system, which is a crucial safety feature. Flying requires a lot of care and some planning. I suggest maintaining the aircraft above surrounding obstacles and avoiding flying in confined space. There are no intelligent flying modes like point of interest, spotlight, attic track and waypoint. The only automated moves are offered by QuickShot, which I will analyze later on in this video. On all other occasions, the flight must be controlled manually, using the two sticks of the remote controller. This is a good exercise for beginners to learn how to control the different movements of the aircraft. But the intelligent modes are crucial for smooth cinematic footage. They are one of the main reasons for upgrading to the more expensive lightweight models. Tracking a moving target is another sought-after feature and available with the Mini 4K. QuickShots are a series of automated predefined moves: drone, rocket, circle, helix, and boomerang. They are useful in some specific situations to perform simple, flawless moves. Like all other DJI models from a few years ago, the Mini 4K has an annoying camera jump when coming to a halt after a forward or backward move. This issue has been solved with a redesign of the gimbal of the Mini 3 Pro. The camera of the Mini 4K cannot rotate to take footage and photos in vertical format, an important feature for users active on social media. However, cutting the image to the desired format while editing is possible, at the cost of some resolution loss. The maximum frame rate at 4K is 30 frames per second, so the Mini 4K doesn't offer any real slow motion capability. The only possibility is to shoot footage at 30 frames per second and encode at 24 for a very subtle slow motion effect. This is another limitation for advanced users, as the Mini 4 Pro offers astonishing slow motion capabilities. But for beginners, this is not a major issue. Footage taken in the direction of the sun is the most demanding scenario, due to the very high dynamic range. The difference in luminosity between the highlight and the shadows is extreme, and most drones cannot deliver good results, due to the small sensors. The correct way to expose is to preserve the highlight, but the shadows will be too dark. Under this condition, the Mini 4K cannot compete with more expensive models of the current DJI line. The small sensor cannot collect enough light in the shadows. The best we can do is to have the elements on the ground as a silhouette. When the sun is on the shot, we notice nasty flares, chromatic aberration, and loss of saturation and detail. A beginner should avoid shooting footage and photos in the direction of the sun, as it is a very advanced technique, requiring a large sensor, a good quality lens, a flat color profile, and solid editing skills. The more expensive lightweight models of the DJI line, the Mini 3 Pro and Mini 4 Pro, perform extremely well in low light conditions, partly due to the very wide aperture of the lens. Sadly, night footage is an area where the Mini 4K falls apart, and this is to be expected due to the small sensor and older technology. The shadows are too dark, even when using a high ISO value. Even with heavy post-production, it is impossible to raise them, as they don't contain any detail. In my opinion, shooting after sunset should be avoided, and this is a major limitation of this model. The Mini 4K is very affordable. The difference in price compared to the Mini 3 and 4 is important. This makes it the ideal model for users approaching drone videography for the first time and for casual users. Quality of the footage in friendly light condition is a very good starting point for beginners, although shooting against the sun and in low light is better avoided. Even though the features offered are minimal, this model is reliable and fun to use. When someone gets seriously involved with this hobby, there are several reasons to upgrade to more expensive models. The poor performance in low light, the lack of obstacle avoidance sensors, and intelligent flight modes. But the Mini 4K is easy to resell in the second-hand market. I often see videos suggesting the Mini 4K as a second drone for serious users who already own a bigger model, for urban shooting or when traveling. I do not agree, as there will be a noticeable difference in the quality of footage between the two models, making it hard to integrate them into the same project. The Mini 4 Pro is a much better choice as a second drone, for someone who already owns an Air 3 or a Mavic 3. Click on this link to watch my review of the Mini 4K.